Good afternoon, friends. It's Friday. Yay! June 26th. Time for a reflection. I know that I'm not alone in this frustration. When my vacation begins after worship on Sunday, if it had gone as planned, Joan and I would have been flying on a red-eye from SFO to Newark Airport, leaving Tuesday night, arriving Wednesday morning in Newark. From there, we would have gone to visit some of the important places we've been looking forward to. Ellis Island, Statue of Liberty, Valley Forge National Park. We would have been spending time with friends in Pennsylvania and Maryland. We would have had side trips to Washington, D.C. and Annapolis, Maryland. And there was a time for us to go up to the Baseball Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York. All before we showed up in northern New Jersey for my father's 90th birthday. But all out the window in early May, when the patriarch said, "Stay home." To be honest, that's Joan, me, Alex, and Bryn, had set early June as a date for decision. We had all of our plane tickets and they would be refunded, so that wasn't the worry. And obviously, we've canceled the trip. I'm now even more relieved because the tri-states, New York, New Jersey, and Connecticut, have placed a 14-day self-quarantine period for visitors coming in from COVID-19 hotspots. Now, at last look, California wasn't one of the hotspots, but with my luck, they would have gone on the list Tuesday afternoon as we were getting ready to leave. Now my virtual joy comes from seeing all of your vacation plans and all of your pictures you're posting on Facebook. The number of friends who are out in their camping rigs is incredible. Setting up camp, relaxing, getting away from it all. What a life that is. I do know how important self-care is for me and for all of us. I am renewed as I travel. Those of you who have known me for a long time know that I have spent most summers driving from here to St. Paul, Minnesota, Luther Seminary. For the 5 summers, I did that and attended a 3-day renewing workshop. I had my route to allow me to fill passions of mine: travel, baseball, connecting with friends, and learning. I remember the second year that I pulled into the hotel in Sidney, Nebraska. That's about 45, 50 miles east of the Wyoming border. And the person behind the counter said, "You look familiar. Have you been here before?" And I said, "I was last year." "Why are you back again? You know, there's nothing to do here." Well, I told her that I had lived for a while in Potter, just west of there. And I certainly did know there wasn't a whole lot to do. But I had good friends who lived in Gurley, which is about 15 miles north of Sidney, and I was going to have dinner with them that evening. "Ah," she said, "good. Have fun." Now, self-care is important, as I said, for all of us. We need to have the time to break away and be renewed. My renewal this vacation will be in the form of playing some golf. I have a number of projects I hope to complete in the workshop, building a number of bookcases and cabinets. I also have those important books on my shelf that I've left there for far too long that I've now begun to read again, and I expect to spend time doing more reading. And then there'll be about 5 nights of Joan, Alex, Bryn, Campbell, Kennedy, and I as we self-isolate near Yosemite. Alex tells me that we'll be playing golf one of those days. Great! They will go hiking other days, and we'll all go to Yosemite for one. Good news. A great way to be renewed and refreshed. But how about you? What is your self-care routine? Are you keeping it? Do you need help finding one? Are you taking care of yourself? I know that some of you are taking care of yourself with your RVing. But what about the rest of the community that listens to these devotions and reflections? I hope you are. I fear that as a society we are often too pushing, that work is too important. Our work ethic is hard on us. We keep putting aside the time off because we have to get things done. I live with somebody who has a hard time sitting still, and even when we watch TV, has to be doing something in addition because otherwise it's just wasting time. Well, let me offer you a reflection from the Bible, something to think about. It's in the creation story, so it's very early in our Old Testament materials, the book of Genesis. Remember that story? God creates the world in 6 days, according to Genesis. And on the 7th day, what does God do? Relaxes, does nothing, sets aside time. That tells me how important it is to step aside from work. And while I'll grant that God never said, I'm going on vacation for a week or two or a month or two, God did give us a call to rest. Jesus also demonstrated the importance of spending time alone. One of the most impactful Bible verses for me is Mark chapter 1, verse 35. Mark writes the following: "In the morning, while it was still very dark, he, Jesus, got up and went out to a deserted place, and there he prayed." God rested. Jesus got up and went out, took a break from the norm of the day, set aside time. Our Creator and our Redeemer said it is vital for us to take time away from the routine, to recenter ourselves, to be renewed. I will be doing just that for the next 3 weeks, renewing and recentering myself for the next months of ministry work. And again, I ask you, are you renewing and recentering yourself for the next months of ministry work? Do you need to give yourself permission to get up and go to a deserted place? To spend time being refreshed? Have you spent too much time away from everything so that your refreshment now might come in the form of interacting with others? Each of us finds this renewal and recreation in unique ways. I pray that you find yours in this time of chaos and uncertainty. Maybe it is time to take up a book and read. Time to pick up the phone and call someone. Take up a pen and write a note. Get in the car and drive to see someone. And of course, you'll stay that 6 feet apart unless it's a family gathering. But even then, please be careful. This cycle of life includes a time of renewal and recreation, of resting from anxieties and woes of life, of being renewed in the Spirit. I hope you find your renewal. I will be enjoying mine for the next 3 weeks. So, I'll see you on Sunday for the last time this month. It's the end of June, after all. And I do look forward to seeing you. But until then, please remember, until we meet again in the end of July, please remember, wash your hands multiple times a day, 20 seconds at a time each, at least. And because they'll get all dried out and scaly, use some hand lotion afterwards. Keep them nice and soft to be held. Stay home if you're not feeling well. Love one another. Practice the important physical distancing from other people. Family members, huddle up together and love one another. Wear your mask in public. I was out this afternoon getting some lumber, and I was the only one in the place wearing a mask. That's unfortunate, I think. And of course, that Sergeant Esterhaus, my beloved police sergeant, offers, be careful out there.